guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Simon with topdockpro. We got Brian over here with topdockpro Port Charlotte, and today we're going to be doing a buffing on a 45 Grady White Canyon. So we got level R right here, and we actually got the new level R. So this is their gallon bucket, so it's super convenient. If you got an applicator, if you guys run applicators in your business, just makes it super simple. You can just dip it right in, throw it right on the panel. But essentially what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be buffing out this boat. The boat's not super oxidized, but it needs a little cleanup. This boat, basically, essentially, we booked the client on a program for washing, and then we noticed there's a lot of improvements that could be made in terms of detailing, and we didn't want him to have to get on a 3 or even a 6-month program, especially with a huge boat like this. So we're going to do our 1% detail. We're going to get it coated with ceramic DNA DNX, and we'll be able to push this for about a year. So we'll do once a year, yearly maintenance, and that's what we're doing today. We're doing the initial install. So let's go ahead and check it out. Before we start buffing, let's go ahead and talk about Starke Level R, which is a super unique compound in the industry for marine detailing. Now, what makes this stuff super special is it's a diminishing abrasive, so you're gonna get about 800 grit scratch removal, and then that's gonna break down into a polish. So that's a little different than 3M Heavy or Presta Supercut, which those are pure heavy cut compounds. They're very hard to work with. So when you have a product like this, it makes your process much faster, much smoother, with an awesome finish. So you're also gonna save steps in the process, and that's why Starke Level R has just been at the top for 3+ years now, and there's really nothing better out there. So let's go ahead and talk about how to use this. Now, I like to use an applicator. It just makes it super easy. Instead of caking up my pad, having to clean it super often, we can just use the applicator and we can spread on the section, control the amount of product, and get it where we want. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Typically, I like to do about either a 2x2 foot section, roughly. 3x3 is pushing it, but you could do it if you wanted to. The other great thing about Level R is it handles very well in high temperatures. So for example, today we're in South Florida, we are in Cape Coral, and it's probably over 100, and this stuff works really well. You do want to kind of buff on it once you get into direct sunlight, but it's going to handle really well, and it's not going to affect the performance of the product. So once we get a section like that, I have chosen the DeWalt buffer. Makitas are also a great option. These things get super hot, especially when it's, like it is today. So we're gonna have to run probably a towel on this, but we're gonna keep this nice and slow. So the key with Level R is starting at 600 RPM. So that's gonna be your lowest setting on your buffer. We really wanna work this in slow. I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but there's a little bit of streaking. These are probably just dirty water stains. The surface isn't completely fresh. It's maybe starting to oxidize a little bit. So this is gonna pull all that out. You're gonna watch it. It's gonna look like a polish by the time we're done. And then once we kind of work this in nice and evenly at 600, we'll increase that RPM up to about 1,000 and finish it out. So go ahead and watch how I do this. So right now we're only about halfway through the process. So I just did one horizontal pass, one vertical. Now the best thing to do is spur this out in between, and then when you finish it out at 1,000, running the pad a little flatter, that's gonna get you an awesome finish. So let me go get that spur real quick. So basically what that's doing is when the compound gets caked on here, it likes to kind of turn these wool fibers into little parts that want to stick together. So we want to clean all that off, open it up, and that allows our cut to be a little better and get a better finish. Now before I finish, just notice the pressure, because you need to get, when you're buffing, you got to get at least 10 pounds of pressure on that. So I'm kind of using my leg just to get that extra pressure. You got to make sure that you're applying force. That's the biggest thing with buffing and compounding. You're gonna have much more success when you're really driving the buffer into the gel coat versus just kind of laying it on there. So that's super important. That's a really good pro tip. And we're gonna finish this out now. I got about one more pass or so. Typically you want to run like 2, so you got vertical, horizontal, and come back, do another additional 2, and that should get you perfect. Once you're done, set the buffer to the side, and then you want to get your microfiber, fold it into 4s. Just a nice easy wipe off. This allows you to inspect the surface, make sure everything looks good, and there you go. So you're gonna see quite a big difference just from either right there or over here compared to what we did. So a lot of these dirty streaks, this little bit of oxidation, we pulled it right out very easily with Starke Level R.
Hey, how you guys doing today? So we're using Level R in the little polished bottle right here. We scraped it in with the gallon right there. So we're gonna apply it to the applicator. I like to apply it nice and thick. And then I apply it to the oxidized wall. So you guys can see right here how the wall's kind of oxidized. It's not really shining like that other test spot that Simon did over there. So we're gonna apply this nice and thick. Make sure you apply it nice and even. I kind of go back and forth, up and down. Make sure it's nice and even on there. Get down here in the bottom. And you don't want to overuse it, but at the same time, you want to make sure it's on there. So we get a nice amount on there. And the same thing, like Simon said, we're going to take our buffers right here and we're going to run it at a low speed. So usually we like to run it at 600 speed. And then, towards the finish, we usually speed it up to around 1,000. All right, so before we start buffing this though, just a safety tip, you guys always want to make sure that your cord or your cable's like kind of out the way so you don't wrap up. That's just, a little tip 101. So like I said, we're gonna run it slow on 600 and let that Level R do its job. So I pretty much did even passes and strokes with the buffer on the 600 level. Now we're gonna speed it up to a level 1,000. So we're gonna grab the spur real fast. So we're gonna take the spur and we're gonna spur out a buffer. You can see the pad is kind of caked up a little bit. So make sure you watch the cord. And now you can see that the pad has kind of fluffed it back out a little bit. So that's how we want it. And then we're gonna run it on 1,000 and kind of just clean up any left behind compound. I'm still doing even squares, lines. That's the best way to do it. It kind of helps your memory to remember what you hit and where you're hitting. So it's important to just hit it all evenly and have even pressure. And you should get a smooth finish. Now we take our microfiber rags. Mine is right there. Thank you. We take our microfiber rags and we're gonna wipe any residual. And there you go. That's a section that is level R by Starke level R. So you can see the gloss difference in the sheen and compared to the spot that I didn't hit and the spot that I did hit. Obviously we're gonna still have to polish because this is a 1% detail. So, but with the level R that we use, you can definitely see that the surface is a lot more shiny than obviously a non level R surface. So there you go.
Hey guys, Jacob here with topdockpro, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit of tips on how to get the lines, more skinny areas on your boat buffed out with heavy cut level R from Starke. First thing that's most important is tape off any sensitive areas like metals, stuff that could be making streaks on the boat that makes more work for yourself that you don't need. And also stuff like seats like this that protects it from the heavy cutting level R, so you don't have to worry about scratches or anything like that. When you're on a smaller section like this or a smaller piece like this, skinnier tape is a lot easier than your thicker tape. And then I like going around the side, catching a lip, and then wrapping it around the piece, folding it down in a nice area. And same thing on the other side. That kind of just ensures you're getting 360 of that metal taped off to where you don't make any marks. Same thing with the other side. Wrap it around, catch the lip, and then fold it over. Nice and evenly pat down, and that's great for buffing around. A little bit of Starke level R. I personally like using the bottle method of just taking some out, getting a nice thick line of compound. And this way I can kind of stay efficient, do a nice large area without having to worry about reapplying too much compound or having to worry about my compound drying up too much. And typically you're always going to be using this right side of your buffer, or even the left side too if you're more comfortable with it. It's kind of hard to go flat on the buffer obviously because you're in such a skinny area. Let's get at it. Spread it out a little bit just by wiggling the buffer. And then nice slow speed so you're not burning anything, but keeping it moving at the same time. Right up on that tape so you can get as close into that corner as possible. Next section, spread out the compound. Spread out the compound again. And one thing I like to concentrate on when doing this is worrying about this non-skid edge. If you try to buff over into this edge, say with this compound pad, you're not going to get that very small, thin crack there good enough. So I like to angle my buffer cutting into that edge. And of course, real quick at the end, just clean it up, any excess compound, a little bit higher speeds and RPM.
once you're finished using Level R, you can invest in a pad washing system. So that's exactly what we did with the Lake Country pad washer right here. You typically, after a while, an hour or two so buffing, you're going to want to clean the pad. Obviously you have the spur, which helps clean it temporarily, but eventually you're going to want to just clean this, get it back to new, so you can save some pad life and keep your results super high level. So how we do this is we're going to come over here, we're going to press this a couple times. This is going to shoot up a cleaning solution. So now we got that cleaning solution in the pad, and then we're just going to run it in these little ridges right here. We'll kind of take off the compound. It's pretty impressive, so check this out. We just keep it low speed. Do a little more. So something like that, you can see all the dirty water in there. That's just gonna drain into a separate basin. And then we're gonna kind of run this a little higher just to clean out and get all the water and moisture out of the pad. So once you're done, you're gonna see you have a nice clean pad. So this will get you a little bit extra lifetime out of the pad and keep it nice and clean, keep your results doing good. Now let's go ahead and talk about our reviews for Starke Level R. All right, so here's my personal review of Starke Level R. In my opinion, first of all, we're gonna be rating this, we're all gonna be rating this, me, Brian, and Jacob, on a scale of 1 to 10. But I just wanna talk a little bit about it. It's really my favorite compound. I've used lots of compounds, 3M Heavy, I've used Presta, Ardex Super 600. And I know the big talk right now is the Merca Polar Shine. However, it's just slightly different than Level R. You're not gonna go out here and try to fix surface imperfections. You're not gonna try to fix a little bit of oxidation with a product like Merca Polar Shine. Instead, you're gonna wanna use Level R. So that'll deal with a lot more stuff. And that's why I just have to rate this kind of high. I mean, for me, I'm gonna be basing this off of the current products plus what I think the potential of something of a dream product could be. So I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. I think it's excellent. The fact that it's been at the top for 4 or 5 years at this point is just incredible. And I know I've been using it personally for 3 years. There's just nothing out there on the market that will even touch Level R. So that will be my review, 9 out of 10. I think you guys should get it if you want to. Make sure you use our code topdock15, all caps. Go to marinedetailsupply.com and get yourself 15% off. This is the best stuff. If you have not tried it yet, I know a lot of you guys probably know about it, but if you haven't, check it out.
So today I'm gonna give you a review for the Starke Level R. The Starke Level R would probably give it a solid 8 out of 10 review. It produces a really nice sheen and a really nice gloss compared to some of the other products that I used in the past, like TRT VPS. I really like that product. It gives a similar sheen and gloss finish on all the surfaces. So it's a very nice product. You can go, like Simon said, to our website and check it out, and also to Starke as well. So
my review, I'd give Starke a 8 out of 10. It's a very consistent product. You always know you're going to be getting a consistent cut. It doesn't have a lot of fillers like some other products, or it doesn't leave too dry of a finish and cut way too heavy. So that's my review of Level R.
Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, be sure to drop comments. We're here to answer any questions you may have, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. And with that said, guys, I'll see you on the next video, and I thank Jacob and Brian for helping me out in this video. I hope it was very informative.
thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
And we'll see you on the next one.
And check us out on our website at www.topdockpro.com.